Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the match preview. Sunderland versus Everton. Everton heading up to the Stadium of Light on Monday night. The first of a couple of away games on a Monday night, unfortunately, which isn't fantastic. Sunderland, John, totally not what I expected this season. Totally going against, I think, what everybody thought they were going to do this season. They're currently in fourth place as we record. That could change by the time we get to the game.
Yeah.
But they have had a magnificent start to the season.
They have. Reward for effort. They have a plan. They stick to it.
Yeah.
They work hard. Seem to outrun everybody. And enthusiasm. And at home, they're on a roll, aren't they? Because
unbeaten.
yeah, you know, it's what football's all about, isn't it? Really, if you get confident, you imagine that their players. Unless I challenge anyone watching this, not without looking it up, name one, sort of thing. And they must have that. What happens to promoted teams as you go straight back down? It's all hard and difficult.
Yeah.
You're playing with the big boys now. They start with a 3-0 home win against West Ham, and they think they were quite good.
Yeah.
Maybe we can play this.
Yeah.
And they just rolled.
Yeah.
And if they keep rolling, and actually, with the points they have already, they don't have to do it for very long to think, no, we're mission accomplished.
Yeah.
We're staying up, right? And current rate of progress would be early in the new year when they pass 30 points, would it?
Yeah, I mean, they're on 17 now, so I mean, you have to double that, and who knows what traditionally last few years the points tally has been
quite low.
34, but this season it might seem to be a little bit higher.
There's a lot of clubs a lot closer together.
Yeah, because of and also because of the teams who are in the bottom three at the moment are all, teams who've been in the Premier League for a while.
And
so
you might expect them to pull out of it, and
But this is I suppose for Sunderland, this is a reward, isn't it, for their fans? They've, for the last few years, they've had a real troublesome last few years. Even last season, coming up in the playoffs, I watched that playoff final.
Did it the hard way.
And I didn't think they shouldn't have really won.
Did they turn up?
They didn't turn up at all, to be honest.
What I mean, yeah.
And they did, but I tell you what.
Isn't that the so-called sign of a good team?
From the last, but I don't even know how many of that team are still there, though. That's the point, isn't it? But from what I would say, the club, though, from that day, because they always say as well, teams who come up through the playoffs, they've got less time to put it together. But you said before, they've obviously stuck to the plan that they already had.
Yeah, I think they had a proper plan. I mean, the club, they went down into League One, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
And, they're on the uppers. And it was one of those where you do the things that perhaps many clubs can do at certain times, but it has to be almost like you're facing disaster before you do it. So they built the club up from the ground up.
Yeah.
Young owner, let's do this. And then they get into the Championship, do quite well, get into the playoffs, play CAC, come up.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned it on the live earlier on, the team who should be in the Premier League right now are struggling in the Championship instead. Yeah. So it literally is a sliding door type situation. But they are historically a big-ish or big club.
Yeah.
And, they've got a great fan base. The stadium's one of the first generation of new ones.
Yeah, it's one of the first generation,
So it might not be high quality, but there's, 47,000 in there. And their fans are obviously much better than Newcastle fans, so they're living the dream. Yeah,
they're very much, the ground is a bit of a, the ground is a bit of one of those like Meccano ones that was built sort of,
Devon Borough.
Borough, Derby County, sort of that, Southampton, but...
Would have been us if we'd gone to...
Maybe, yeah. Well, it would have been, but, the whole, it's almost like they changed... Because of where they were, they very, very much look like they've changed the way they were doing things to more of a, maybe what of a Brentford or a Bournemouth kind of way. Brighton, the three Bs.
Went for youth.
They brought in a manager, like the manager Regis Libri is like,
who?
Exactly, like I have to look that up all the time. I always forget who the manager of Sunderland is, because they went through so many managers. And then they tried something different. They went for a guy at Lorient, and they've tried something completely different. And I think this summer, without going too overboard about them, but it does show that when people going, you can't change things in the summer, or they really, listen, they obviously had good young players last season, but they've changed so much this summer. And without spending an absolute fortune as well, without throwing around silly money, they've been really smart about the players they brought in. And I fully expect them to stay in the Premier League comfortably. Of course, there's going to be a drop-off at some point. But they're going to stay in the Premier League without an issue, I'd think. Fair play to them, because I think just for their fans, they've earned that right after all the years of, and all the heartache as well, by the way, all the heartache. There was that classic line in the documentary where the fans watching the playoff, and he said, "Why always us?" Which I think, as an Evertonian, we can look at as well. But,
absolutely, yeah.
But for us, I mean, you wouldn't have thought, would you? I mean, I hate Monday night games when they're away. I'm not too fond of them when they're at home. But very much like that Leeds game, you feel like all the weekend is building up
waiting
to it.
For it.
Now, it mightn't be for anyone else. And by the time you get there, all of the onus feels like everyone's, all the eyes are on you, all the build-up's on you. But all you know is actually everyone just wants the other team to win. Everyone wants Sunderland to continue. You know the atmosphere is going to be great. And oh God, I really dislike Monday Night Football for this very reason, and I think we saw that at Leeds.
I think so, yeah. And I think whether it's Monday nights, whether it's a promoted team, whether it's both at the same time, yeah, promoted team on a Monday night, plenty of opportunity for people to get preloaded for the game and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, you're right, and all the story on Monday Night Football on TV, if it is Sky, I've got it,
Sky,
or
of course,
TNT equivalent, will be about Sunderland, how great they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and they've built from the ground up. And notwithstanding that, I think they've had, like, if you include caretaker managers, something 6, 7 or more managers in the last 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it hasn't worked, but the old adage from me and Baz, if you're going to fail quickly.
Yeah.
And they've had your Mowbrays of this world, I guess, in there, or what have you. But right now, they're crest of a wave, and their fans would have thought before the season started, we're going to enjoy this. We've got a young squad, right? So we're classic, well, if, maybe it's when we get relegated, we'll come back the year after stronger with all the money and all that. But they're not, as we just said, they're not many games away from relaxing a little bit and saying, we're going to stay in this league. And if they win those points that allow them to say that, the confidence will remain high, and then they'll start having higher ambitions, won't they?
Yeah. And of course, the more points they get, like you just said, the more they'll relax, and the more they'll think, we can beat these teams. There's no reason why we can't beat this team, and that confidence is just goes everywhere, doesn't it? The fans then expect to win games. You're all just enjoying it, so you haven't got those negative thoughts in your head of always looking over your shoulder, because once you've got to that point, like when they get 20 points, they're like, oh God, we're halfway there. And on Monday night they could do that, and they think, we're halfway there, we're halfway to staying up, and it's November,
a third-ish of the way through the season.
So then you start thinking, well, what else can we achieve this season? And you're enjoying it, you're loving your players, you're loving your manager, and that's just the fuel to take you forward, isn't it? It really is. And I think last week's game against Chelsea was the one where it went from being a bright start to suddenly going, oh my God, they went away to Chelsea. They went behind to Chelsea in the game. Yeah. And they've come from behind and won the game. They were getting beat after 4 minutes. And I bet you loads of people would have gone, this is the day the bubble bursts for Sunderland.
Well, it might very well burst one day.
But it might.
Hopefully Monday.
But the longer it goes on for them, hopefully it is Monday. And let's just have a look at the team that actually beat Chelsea last
I'm just looking
weekend.
At the stats myself.
And as you can see there, they play with sort of like 3 at the back, really, or, it can go back to 5 at the back very quickly. And what you see there, obviously, they brought Grant Xhaka in the summer, who I thought was a really inspiring player, bringing him back to the Premier League after, obviously, he won a title in Germany. But there's not too many other recognisable names in that team right there. It's a lot of, a lot of players that they brought in. Xhaka's the one that jumps out. He's obviously the captain as well. But obviously, he, got Traore there on the wing, who obviously has been around a little bit, but they've managed to manufacture a side that's really on the up and up front for them. The player who is in a real purple patch. Let's just have a look at is Wilson Isidore, who's in a real purple patch. 4 goals out of 9 games from an XG of just over 2, 19.5 touches, shots per game just over 3, and he's a player who, you know, we've talked about our forwards, but
you can see the heat map there.
Yeah,
it gets out everywhere.
Yeah,
and that's probably why they're doing that as a team. They're outrunning people, they're outworking them, and they're taking chances. He's overachieving against his XG, right? So you could suggest, is it sustainable? But we've been here before.
Yeah.
With is it sustainable? I think clubs go right the way through the season and can sustain it, and because that fuel of confidence is almost an unlimited fuel. So.
Well, this is a player who's come in from Zenit, loads of loans while he was at Zenit, a loan to Sunderland, and then they made that payment last year while he was in the Championship.
That's right, yeah.
And he settled really quickly into the Premier League, and again that shows the difference. Sunderland have only scored a couple more goals than Everton. They've conceded a few less, but that's been turned into points because they have a striker they can, you know, who's got 4 goals this season, which for a team that's come up into the league, that's quite a lot at this point. So they obviously feel like they can rely on him, and I think for us that seems like the thing we're really missing, isn't it? It is that focal point. You know, our wide men are making chances. You know, we're not taking them, and that if we listen, I'm not saying this the guy they've got up front's the answer for us, but he's the answer for them right now. He's doing the job. He's putting the ball in the back of the net. And you just feel like if we had someone like that right now, just someone who's in, even if it's just a purple patch, even if Beto was going through a purple patch, then suddenly I think Everton's fortunes will be much changed.
It was, and you know, January this year, that's exactly what happened, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the manager changed, our manager.
Yeah.
Played to the strength of Beto, and then he showed, look at me, I can score goals.
Yeah.
You know, and his value peaked there and then. Yeah. Now it will be on the floor, but if he has another run, then it will go back up again. Yeah. And so it becomes around, is the manager going to be brave? Maybe no, not with David. It isn't brave to keep picking the same team.
Yeah.
But we talked about it before. You can't have that. We'll just keep doing it, creating chances. We'll start taking them eventually, and all that sort of stuff. Well, there's going to come a time when 2 wide players, particularly when one of them goes and doesn't play, are not going to keep generating all those you know, high expected assists and all that sort of stuff. And then we'll start saying, well, you can't blame the strikers because they're not getting the chances.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 sides of the same coin. Point. These guys, Sunderland, they score individual players and the team. They exceed their XG because they get people around the ball. They're working hard. They counter quickly. Blah 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 blah. And pace will do anyone in this league.
Yeah, it will do. Yeah. Let's just have a look at the Everton team. That obviously were beaten by Spurs last week. I mean, are you hoping for changes from that side, John? Obviously. Within this game, Jake O'Brien and James Garner went to right back, and James O'Brien went off. Yeah. Obviously, Beto started, still not producing. Are you hoping that maybe there might be some changes in the team?
I'm hoping. I'm not expecting.
But what would you like to see?
I'd like us to play Jake at centre back. Yeah. And then make a decision on who goes into right back. And the manager probably only has 2 choices, Seamus Coleman or James Garner. And if he does that, then you can drop Shrewsbury Hall back. I'm talking about if it's James Garner. And then you get the opportunity to play Alcaraz in his preferred position. Whether he would save that sort of thing for a home game remains to be seen. And maybe, just maybe, the manager's already decided he's going to make changes. It's hard to tell today, but because he gave a bit mixed messages on the press conference. But it has to be the last time he goes with that if we lose. Yeah. And does he really want to play that game of I'm forced to make changes? Rather than you know,
seeing it. I mean, Everton have won 1 in 7 though, so I mean, can you see this where he might go up there and just go, do you know what? If we can grab a point here and then go back to obviously for the Fulham game before the international break.
That bracket's quite good then.
Yeah. Do you think he might go there and go, let's not lose this game?
I think absolutely his whole history would be, let's not play in a way that gives them any opportunity for the fans to make a difference, for their enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And you can almost imagine him saying, if we're still in this game with 10 minutes to go, maybe what we bring off the bench is going to be more impactful than what they bring off the bench. And we'll almost know straight away by how he sets up.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, do you think he'll bring I think he'll bring Barry in for this one. I think he might swap.
I hope he brings Barry.
I think he might go. I saw enough last week.
Yeah. But we all would say, it depends which side you are of the argument, but we've seen plenty to think. Me and Baz had the chat 3 games ago. Just give Barry a run.
Yeah.
We know that what he did in his previous places, I'll paraphrase, he looked useless, but once he got the pace, he kicked on. And he's not really getting the opportunity to get used to it, is he?
Yeah.
And he keeps showing things when he's on that make you think, well, where I sit anyway, me, Beto wouldn't do that. Beto doesn't do him behind. Beto doesn't ask for the, and all that sort of stuff. And I think Beto's stuck in that thing that you strikers have when they're in the slump. And he's limited anyway. He always looks like he's on his heels. He never anticipates things, and all the negatives you can come up with, and he can come back and have his purple patch later, Well, because we know he can score goals because he's done it. Right. So
no one can. I mean, no one can argue he hasn't been given a chance this season.
No.
He's played enough games. It's not, no one can. It's on him to change things, and he hasn't changed things. And now might be time for Barry to get that opportunity.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll be interested to see, certainly after losing 3-0, whether there are changes, because, like you said, then Moyes, and he even hinted in the press conference, that almost like that's the first time we're
not having that again.
Yeah. And he's always good at bouncing. First time he's at Everton, he was always good at bouncing back. So it will be really interesting to see whether he does make changes based on it, or
he may literally sit down with his mates and say, right, objective number 1 is we are effing conceding 3 goals.
Yeah.
We are not effing conceding from set pieces.
Yeah.
How do we best achieve that?
Yeah.
Right? There might be 5 at the back. Might fool us all.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Not something he's done, but there you go. Yeah, it's a big night. It'd be a big night for Jordan Pickford. I think it's the first time he's played against Sunderland.
Is it really?
I think it is, yeah. I think it must be the first. Is it the first time or the second time? It's been a while,
well, because we checked the Sunderland games in the years ago, aren't they? So, he hasn't played against Sunderland.
Yeah, we bought him after they got relegated, didn't we? Yeah, so it'd be the first time he's played against them. So, be a big night for him. I'm sure. Be interested to see the Sunderland fans join in a song. Because, it does target people that they don't like as well. So, there you go. Let us know how you're feeling. Are you feeling confident? Because all I've felt so far is people being a bit like, could just, don't need a Monday night.
It's the drag to Monday, isn't it?
It's the Monday night to Sunday. Although you do get a nice free week.
Friday night game would have been better.
Just get it out the way.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments, anyone, this one. Are you looking forward to it, or are you a little bit... Yeah, let us know your thoughts. Make sure to check out my starting 11 over the weekend as well, and we'll be back live on Monday, even before this game is even played, so never mind worrying about the aftermatch stuff.
We can talk about it all again.
Yeah, so there you go. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Take care.